Welcome to my channel. I am Smokey Crab. I go by Taylor. So in this series, I plan to educate as well as create a safe space for people to come and learn, hang out. So about me, I started playing this game back in 2015. I use primarily armor, so that meant I used tanks and scorchers and all the armored units they had back when I started playing in 2015. So, Smokey Crab, where does Smokey originate from? So, about a year ago, there's this player by the name Lurkin Gherkin. So, he ran Zukas, and it was the first time I've ever seen Zukas run on operations, and he just would go in, take out a base, one hit, and I'm like, wow, I've got to get my hands on that skill, because, that's just such a big flex. Take out one base with one hit. It's like, wow, I never could imagine on operation you could do that. And I was like, huh? So yeah, that's about a year ago. So, so there's two accounts. So I originally started out with two accounts. So my dad's account, which is, Ike, which is right here. That's was my dad's account. It still is. I just took over for him to play Zukas and run his operations exclusively for him because he's just not as good. And then there's Mega Smokey Crab, which was originally Crab Crusher. It was a crab account, which meant it had 1 GBE for troop health, rest damage, just to go push Mega Crab as hard as possible. Played Mega Crab pretty, I want to say competitively, but I pushed as far as I could go for about 3 years. Hence why I got all this stored up, loads and loads of powder and crystals and all the sort. And so I can just full boost, not really have to worry about my powder consumptions. It's just theoretically, yeah, you're going to run out, but it's just 1900s, yeah, plus all that. It's just, yeah. So that'll last me a pretty good while. So, yeah. So I learned how to play Zukas. Then as I got more comfortable, I expanded. I am up to 13 accounts total. Right in this task force, I have, I think 7. So it's Mega Smokey Crab, Smokey Yoda, Smokey 2. So Ike was up here somewhere. Right there. Yeah, right here. Ike. Got Smokey 3, Smokey 5, and then Smokey 4 right here. So as I got better, I was like, alright, I can hold my own. Really hold my own playing Zuka. So, alright. Let me help out the task force. Get my skills fine-tuned so I can really go hard at the operations. Today, it was just tough today. A lot of these bases I should have had, but it's just I was missing 300k, 400k, 200k damage, which is so annoying. I just wasn't very happy about my personal, what do you call it? My personal attacks today. Mine were just not up to my standards. Everybody else did phenomenal. Yeah, but me, yeah, we're not gonna talk about me today. But what we are gonna talk about, we're gonna talk about me yesterday because 14 attacks and yeah, so all that navy blue, and they're all me with Peb as an assist, assisted by FU Man. So yeah, pretty much everything else I held my own, and then the back end area I was kind of cleaned up rogue as needed. 14 attacks, pretty good for a 50 man on deep cut Twitch. I know deep cut is not that difficult, but it is pretty awesome. You can say, yeah, I took out whatever, how many bases, 4 or 5 attacks on my own. So it's pretty cool when you can say that. All right, so here we have Ike. Here's the stats real quick. All the stats used, you can tell by the percents, all such levels. Alright, here we go. Ike. So this was run by me. So I'm going to start off by clearing all these mortars. Depending on the layout, you can make Fang a solo. I wasn't really trying to get a solo. I didn't full boost. I was kind of going mid boost. Like it was three damage I boosted, a 2 troop health, maybe 1 troop health, 1 GB each, kind of making a big hole. So whoever else could wanted to just rush the core or just, clear it a little bit to the left, clear it a little to the right, go up the middle, anything they just wanted to do. So grab the shields. That's always a must for Fang. Other bases, shields don't always have to be taken out, but for Fang, it's just in your path, so you might as well just take it while you can. So that was Ike. Pretty decent. He got all the shields. He cleared out the entire. I say he, but it's me. I gotta get better with this YouTube stuff. But I cleared out good chunk of the base. So that was Ike. Here we are with Ransom. Or here we are at Smokey Crab 4 on Ransom. Here's the stats. Level 66. That is HQ 25. Yeah, HQ 25. Alright. Here we go. Clearing out all the mines. I like throwing barrage here, and then art there. Just more efficient on your gunboat. Because Zuka is all about managing your gunboat. If you run out, you're not doing much. So I don't need to take out that. Bullet will take that. Pop. You see, I threw an extra smoke because there's a tiny little gap. I was like, if I don't cover that up, I think the machine guns will shoot through. I just want to be over conservative, make sure I get that. Alright, I flared right here, get the anchor point. Then I flare this machine gun. And then, so go up here. I'm going to taunt these two, so I'm not worried about a shock there. The only shock I have is 1-2, repeated as needed. And here we go. So like I said, I'm trying to be somewhat conservative on my powder when I can. And unfortunately, me being a little bit more conservative with powder caused me to like a little bit on the damage, a little bit on the gunboat. But I'd say the damage was more of a factor than the gunboat on that hit. Just not enough. I'm going to go to Smokey Yoda. I just don't feel comfortable going over other people's attacks. They may not feel comfortable either. Just want to do me and just leave it as that. If any of y'all in the comments, like yourself, want to be in, just say, hey, I want to be in, but I just don't want to do it yet. Don't anybody get offended or what else. So just do me for now. Alrighty. So on this hit, I'm going, of course, farm my gunboat with bombardiers when you can, of course, yeah. So I was clearing out mines, going straight up, parallel to this line, just about. You can land over here, flare up here and all that, and then flare, up there and all that. It's just the mines. Sometimes you have to be really precise, and it's just I can't land it. Waterloo is one of my weaker bases, so I thought, hey, going up straight doesn't look too bad. I'll try that out. So and that's what I did. So I cleared all my mines for it, land the Zukas, and then I'm going to flare it up, drop brick right here, and there's my range I need to worry about. These, yes, they'll take out brick, so they're pretty good smoke point. So I'd say go up here, keep flaring. Okay, so you see where this flare is. Now I'm going to go for a long flare, and if you go for a long flare, you have to know you have to be in a pretty straight line from point A to point B, or you have to be fairly confident you know exactly where they're going. So Are they going to go around the left of this mortar? They're going to go split here. And if they kind of split and all that, your smoke is only so wide, so you got to encompass all the troops you can. So I thought that's a pretty straight. It was a little bit down to the left. See a little bit of a slant, but overall, then right here they straightened out. So pretty good. Always looking for the straightest path or the most, I want to say reliable, but I'd say the one you feel most confident is like going to set you up for a predictable walk. So I got pretty predictable on that one. Okay, and then I'm gonna stop here. Of course, got one shock there. Of course, yeah, but these shocks, nope. That, no. So here's your fresh shock right here on these three. Okay, then mortars. Definitely need to shock the mortars. Okay, now we're gonna see. You see this ring? That is your blind spot. Blind spot. So what that means is whatever troop is inside will not get shot. So that's for a rocket launcher. Pretty big. Machine gun. Pretty tiny. And then you have your mortars, which are moderately big. But you see how these are all set up. This one is not important at all because look, it just goes way out here. So right now we got 1, 2, and I don't remember if I threw a third and fourth or a third here, but we'll see what I did. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I could have just chalked that, and it would have grabbed this, and then these two. These mortars. See how it's just barely hits these. You didn't necessarily have to shock it, but it's always best if you have the gunboat, just go ahead and shock it just to be sure. I don't remember the health on that. What was that? Waterloo. Let's see the health. Waterloo. It was 760, so it was about gosh, what is that? 1.4, 1.6. So it was pretty low. So I think I've been all right not shocking that, but as a generality, it's better to go ahead and shock if you can afford it. All right, so that was Waterloo. Here we have Commodore on Smokey Crab 5. Alrighty, so usually I would drop over here and take all these machine guns because there's usually snipers up here, usually boom cannons, usually long range defenses. Today there wasn't, so I thought, 1, 2, 3, whatever. How many defenses is that? How many could I take out? So remember, we know each building gives you 3 gunboat. So you can't 30 you can grab here until you get shot by the rocket launchers and such. But here you have plenty of buildings that are free for your bombardier. So I used a flare, one flare. I think it was worth using the flare. I don't like using too many flares in my battles because it gets expensive. That's one thing about Zookas. Everything in your arsenal for Zookas gets expensive. Your gunboat, your powder, especially. Ooh, yeah, powder. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it's just more efficient today to grab over here for my gunboat supplies, just to top me off, just a little bit more. Just give me a little bit more gunboat, a little bit more smokes, a little bit more flare, a little bit more of everything to support me in my hit. Right about now, I would start landing because I don't want to run out of time. Give myself about 2 minutes. Give myself about 2 minutes on every single base. Maybe sometimes I'll do 145 if it's a close base, but this, you really need 215 to 220. 2's pushing it. So I'm gonna flare down here to get them all grouped up. And yeah, I forgot to mention this. Do a 1 by 1 landing. So go drop, 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 so on and so on and so on. You don't want to go click, 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 click. You go click, click, click. You're just going to get all jumbled up, and it's not going to be as tight as you want. And I have to call it, I don't know the terminology, but I call it a tail. See, this is like a clump right now, but in a minute it'll turn into here's your tail. Your tail will be so long to be dragging, so the smoke will run out, and you'll still have a couple Zukas back because you're just dropping, spanning with no precision. So slowly but slowly, you're going to be picked off here and then here and then here. But the way you're dropping like that, you're going to keep them as compact as you can. Think of Zukas as one person. You want one person together. You don't want your one person scattered. You want them as a unit. They work as a unit. So I flared there and then flared here to get them a little bit tighter up. And as you will know, brick walks a lot faster than Zukas. So it's always about doing mid flares. The reset, the race, I'll call it. That's a bad wording, but race is what I'm going to call it. So then the Zukas will get right next to her, and then I drop the flare. Like, okay, we're going to restart the race. I'm just going to call it race for now. So then I flared here. I'm not that good at this hit. Maybe I should have flared on that line, or maybe a half beat below it. I don't know. I think that's a bad flare. I'm not really good at this base, but I did manage to get it down, but it's just, yeah, I'm not really happy for it because I can do a lot better. And you see how my Zukas are going down. That I don't know what's happening. They're just going down. So I should have probably flared a little bit higher. So then I'm going to smoke them right back into the smoke and then put them right on the core. I have my shocks. Bam, bam, bam. What was that? Got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this rocket turn, which means somebody stepped up. So maybe a couple Zukas stepped up. It's just fine. But if you have a lot more than a couple, you're going to get smoked and your attack is done. Alright, so that is Commodore Smokey Crab 5. Alrighty, next up we have Mega Smokey. So remember, this is my main account turned from armor to strictly Zukas. Alright, here's the stats, and let's go. So here we have Titanic. So this Titanic had a bunch more power cells. Usually, I'm thinking it's pretty bare here, if I can remember correctly. So I had a lot more power cells I could farm, which meant I could use more barrage and artillery just to make my hit a little bit safer, because I'm just getting so much more than I'm spending that it just doesn't really matter. But I can't just go, oh, do that one and that one and that one. You gotta, it's all about knowing which path you're gonna take and which ones have to go. You want to be as conservative as possible with your gunboat. So here I am. Alright, pause. You'll see I killed off my bombardiers. Okay, you're saying to yourself, why would you do that? Alright, so main reason is you'll start your walk. I don't know if I had to do it on this sit or not, but most bases I kill them off because I don't want them dragging behind or going faster than Zukas and start getting that delay, setting off the delay for different defenses. So delay, I'm going to keep it really simple, is when a defense looks at you, that's the delay being lost. So it just looks at you. It turns its head. Say head for now. It turns its and looks at you, but it doesn't fire that. So once it looks at you, it's lost the delay. And so once the delay is lost, that means you got to have your shocks quicker and your smokes quicker, because they are already activated, and you're just gonna get fried if you don't get them on time and all such. Alright, so that's why I killed them off. Just to keep the inconsistencies to a bare minimum, or none at all. And then we do the 1 by 1. Remember, the 1 by 1. I'm getting shot by these snipers, but I remember the exact number, it's over 100 Zookas, and so a couple dead every couple seconds is not going to make a difference at all. Just do not waste your smokes if you're getting shot by single defenses. That's just the biggest waste of gunboat. So I'll be getting shot. Lost, say, 15. I don't know. Not keeping track. Okay, I'm going to drop the smoke here and a flare here to get them anchored onto this, so they'll look at it, but they can't shoot under smoke. It will get them pointing at him like, all right, we're going to point at you until we start moving, or until this smoke expires. So we're pretty much getting them anchored to a point, or they will not move, so you can get your line exactly where you want it. I dropped it right here, so we'll see that coming up now. So we'll drop the flare there, and look at that line. That line, pretty straight, so that's good. So that means I'm very consistent, although I think I remember I kind of stepped out here, a couple stepped out. I was like, ooh, I don't know what happened, but yeah. Oh yeah. So what it was is this parasol split me out to the left side, and this one split me out even more. So it was like a double to the left, and these were going up across the top of this one. So see how they kind of, ooh, right there. Oh, that's a bunch. I could have lost if I wasn't quicker. So next time, gotta watch out for the pathing of where they go after hitting this. But overall, I didn't lose too many, so it wasn't bad. I'm gonna drop it 1, 2, 3. All right, you see how I did 1, 2, 3. So 1 was for critters, and then that smoke was activated a little bit before these, so it was like 1, 2, 3. So after the third, in my hot bar, I select my critters and throw them down here. Then I will also throw a flare right in between these two snipers, or maybe just right above this rocket launcher to the upper right. So the reason I throw these, throw the critters here. Remember how I was saying the delay? You don't want it lost, but if you keep the delay, you can have a bait troop or bait distraction to pull you for pull the defenses for a quarter second, half second, whatever it is. Just to give you a little bit extra time to hit all your shocks. Pinpoint. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes, depending on how you flare up here, you will step up, you won't step up. I will always go ahead and say, just flare this. I mean, go ahead and shock this. It's just safer. If you don't shock it, you're done. Alright, so keeping the delay in our mind, drop those critters right here. So watch these 3 rockets. See how they're angled a little bit down to the right? They'll all be pointing straight at the critters. Buys me an extra second to hit my shocks. Okay, there it goes. And then they see how they turn right before that hit. So if I did not throw those critters, they would have looked at me, and I may not have gotten that off in time. So it saved me just a little bit extra time, and there went my shocks. Bam, bam. And like I said, today I was lucky. I got a good flare off, so I didn't have to shock that, but it was safer. I did. Barely got the base down, but, I got it down. So that was Titanic with Mega Smokey Crab. Alrighty. There we go. Mega Smokey. Okay, then we have Smokey Crab 2. Here's the army, and here's the stats. Alrighty. So I went in earlier with Ike to make a hole, get the shields, all the sorts. Alrighty. Do the 1x1 landing. 1. Get my troops all grouped up together, and then we're going to flare up right about. I think it was now I flared up. Yeah, I flare up Should have flared up a little bit earlier. I just don't like flaring after this ground flare or that ground flare. It's just, they kind of spread like a V, go woo over here and then over there. Just, if you flare before they're in their line still, so they'll be going straight up like that. Okay. Another thing is, so you see how there's no buildings at all. So in that case, what I do is I'll drop the other troops, which usually brick, heavies, whatever, right as Zukas hit this line, right after, just in general, once they're touching or slightly above this caution line, I start dropping them because of the speed differential between Zukas and other troops. It just keeps them in the race. Remember I said race? So, yes, remember race. Okay, there they go. Right, like I said. There they go. All right. So, did I have to worry about any... Okay, remember this. You just gotta... It's all about scouting bases and pinpointing exactly where you need to smoke and exact points and all such. Can I smoke a little bit early? It was right on time. Right on time, so pretty good awareness by me to get my smoke down at the correct time and angle and blah 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 and such. Okay, and then I flared here. Okay, another thing is this front smoke, a little bit before these smokes. Why do you ask? Alright, so this front smoke. Heavies will always stand in front of Zukas no matter what. So, what am I doing here? I'm pretty much planting an HP shield in front of my Zukas. So, HP shield absorbs all damage, and then your damage line just does all the damage, like you're supposed to do. So, throw the smoke here. Top smoke first. That's where the heavies are. They need to be out a little bit before the Zukas. Otherwise, if your Zukas are out first and then your heavies, it's safe to say you're not going to have any Zukas to kill the core with. So, alright, that's why I do it. It's always about protecting your Zukas. Protect them with heavies, protect them with smokes, protect them with shocks. All the protection you'll need for your hits. Also critters. I don't know if I said that or not. Okay. And then I flare the core. Like I said, there's the heavies out front, like I said. Alrighty. So, I flare the core. Now, you're thinking, how is he going to afford all these shocks? Does he need a shock? All of them? No, that's the answer is I don't. Because I have the heavies, I have critters. Where am I going to throw critters? Let's see, where did I throw them this time? Okay, I threw one on these mortars. So it's going to take these, maybe take those. Throw one here. Take all these mortars. And then I'll shock the anything extra I can. Remember blind spot. See blind spot? This rocket launcher can only shoot these 4 or 5 critters, so not very good for me. So what I'm going to do in this situation, I'm going to throw a shock on that mortar. Now throwing a shock on that mortar will of course shock the mortar, shock this, or a shock, these 9 defenses you plant are here. So go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So by planting exactly right here, I can lock down this shock launcher and then these 3 rocket launchers. The mortars are kind of irrelevant to me. So here we go. And then everything goes pew. And then look. You see, where are the rockets looking at? That's right, they're looking at the critters, which are now dead, but I've just done so much damage. By the time these rockets look at me, the base will be dead. Oh, now to a shot back here because it's a weird kind of bug, I think it is, that I can't go into. It's sometimes, yeah, I just shot those. So it's not going to do that. It's a bit too much for my for me to commentate over. So I got the base down there. Ransom. All right. This kind of frustrates me. Ransom is just one of my favorite bases. It's just so straightforward. It doesn't necessarily take skill. It's all about flaring. Flaring is your bread and butter. Of course, smoking bread. The flare just walks you through it. It's like almost a tutorial I'd see Ransom as. So I'll explain what I mean as I go through the hit. Okay, we're going to start off by getting the flare down first. Because if you don't put the flare down first, your Zukas, once you start landing them on your smoke, and go, ooh, I want to shoot that, ooh, I want to shoot that, and shoot that, and shoot that. No. You want them flared so they'll all be walking, or you want them to walk. Alrighty. I'll throw the smoke here on this line. It's always my visual cue of where I need to start this hit. To get it down in 3 smokes, plus the 4th leading up to the core. So I'll always get it down in 3. There we go. And then here's my Zukas, blah. Okay, and then I'll throw a lead smoke because once they hit this, they'll be walking up a little bit, and I want them to free walk, but I want them to be safe. So let them free walk a little bit, and then I flared. And then where did I flare exactly? I flared just behind this sniper. I think it's a little bit where that line is, maybe a half beat lower. If you want to do, you go for the hit. If you want to flare this, and then go double back and flare that. If you don't get this flared right, sometimes, if you don't get that flare right, bullet will always, instead of going from walking down to the left, he'll go up and to the left, and that is horrible for you. It's just weird. You think, wow, that's just so weird. Yeah, I know. But, so I stopped going for that hit just because of the inconsistently. Like, do I really want to base my entire hit on hitting a single flare? Yeah, I'd rather not. Okay. Man, I talk a lot. I talk a whole bunch. Alright, and then we're going to drop a flare up there. Like I said, get your smokes down. And then go 1, 2 smoke. Alright. And then you'll see that your Zukas will come over here. And that these Zukas... Alright. On this hit, do not worry about this. Do not worry about your left tail Zukas. They are irrelevant to this hit. It's all about getting... You will have enough damage to get the core down without them. I think you lose 30, so it's like 2 bucks worth. That's not really a hindrance in their damage outpoint. So just don't worry about them. That's part of the hit. So I'm just going to let them die off. And then you're going to have your bullet taunting these two, so they will not shoot at your Zukas no matter what, as long as they're taunted. Only if they're taunted. Once they are not taunted, they'll hit bullet, and the extra bullets will hit Zukas, and then your attack is done for. Alright, and I'll flare the core now. Got my bullets set up, and I chonked these defenses here. There it goes. See? Took down the core. Clear off my troops because I said, screw this base for leaving me with that much health left on it the first time. Like, man, this base. The reason I didn't get it the first time, it's just not boost enough. I was trying to hold on to a little bit of powder because on other accounts I'm really draining. I got like maybe 150, 200 here and there. But this account is just irrelevant. I can burn powder and burn it. Alrighty, so that is episode 1 of Op with Smokey Crab. I hope to see you very soon in the next episode, whenever that will be. Currently at my college, I'm doing accounting, so I don't have a bunch of time, but I'll try to get maybe a video 2, 3 a week. I may slack maybe a little bit more than that. We'll just see how it goes. So I guess I'll see you in the next one. Smokey Crab signing out. Bye.